So let's discuss about the topic key decision makings in supply chain management. So when we talk about supply chain management, we are understanding that we are talking about the products, we are talking about the suppliers, and we are talking about the customers. So these are the three key main people. So you need customers to purchase a product. You need supplier to supply the product. So a product needs to be manufactured to be supplied or to be purchased. That means the need of the product is also very important. So when we talk about this supply chain management, we are focusing on these three categories, and also while purchasing or while manufacturing or while supplying the product, one key element is involved, that is monetary. Okay, what is monetary? Or the value of that particular product. Okay, so the cash is required, the money or the value for the product is important. So the need of the product is important, the monetary value for that particular product is important, and also a person to supply that product is important. When everything is ready, someone needs to purchase that product. Okay, that involves completely the supply chain management. And it is also very important what kind of decisions that are considered in this supply chain management, and what are the key decisions that are involved. See, when we talk about efficiency as possible and generating a highest level of customer satisfaction, this supply chain management SCM was into the picture to give the customer satisfaction, and also the lower the prices or for one particular product. See, imagine if I want to buy a banana or something, and you cannot spend 10,000 rupees on a banana, correct? So one thing, it is you cannot use it for your lifetime. So once you eat it, it is done. Okay, so that comes under perishable goods and non-perishable goods. So it depends upon the good basis. Okay, what kind of good it is, how long you are using that particular product, and how much you are ready to spend on that particular product, correct? So how much a banana costs or something? So hardly, when you take a dozen bananas, it will be costing around 30 to 40 rupees. You're ready to spend 30 to 40 rupees of a dozen bananas, but you're not ready to spend more than that, because you know the value of the product, you know the need of the product, and when supplier is supplying, he also has an estimation of that particular product, and it varies from place to place. So when I go to a banana farm, I'll get it for a lesser price, but when I'm purchasing it from a market, I have certain taxes included and take it for a little more price, correct? So to understand that cost variant and make the changes, make the customer as much as satisfied with the product that the supplier is producing or that the supplier is trying to sell the product is very important. So the supply chain has many activities included in it, many activities, and all these activities are categorized into different structures. Okay, and the main structure is strategic, tactical, and operational. So these three are very vast topics. Okay, why? Because it is important a strategic plan to produce a product for the supplier and for the manufacturer. How the product needs to be produced, when it needs to be produced, and how it needs to be bring into the market and to the people that are available to purchase that particular product, right? And certain tactical ways and certain operational segments. So these are the main important categorizations we are having under SCM, how a product needs to be supplied, produced, and also sold to the customer. Okay, let's talk about this strategic level. When we talk about strategic level, a company's strategies are very important in producing a product, right? The whole organization will follow certain strategies depending upon the size, depending upon the location and manufacturing sites, right? Partnership with suppliers, products to be manufactured, and sales markets. So sales markets are important, what product needs to be produced are important, and also the size and the location. Okay, now let's talk about, so I want to manufacture a product, like imagine I'm producing a woolen products. Okay, all sweaters, then jackets, and all these woolen products. When these needs to be bought into the market? Summer times? No, right? So we generally wear woolen clothes in winter times, right? So when it is too cold, we need jackets, but in summertime we need a light wear. Okay, So when this analysis is there, so obviously the supplier will be, producing those products at only winter times, seasonal goods. Okay, depending upon the seasons and the requirement, we produce certain goods. Correct. So these manufacturers or these companies, what they do is they understand the location requirements. There should be a need for your product. If not, that product is not being sold. It is a loss to the organization. So it's important that in that particular location, the need of the product should be there. Once the need is there, once the product is manufactured, we should also see the size of that particular product. So how many people can purchase that particular product? Like imagine there are only very few people available to purchase that particular product. It makes no sense. I am manufacturing a lot of goods. It's very important that you need to understand the location where it needs to be manufactured, the size, how much it needs to be manufactured and how it needs to be sold, what are the distributors that we are including in. Everybody matters a lot. Then the partnerships with suppliers. What kind of, see, when you produce some products, no, it's very important the quality of the product. Okay. If you are putting a right price and you are selling it in the right location and you are also considering the people over there, the need is fulfilled, but the quality of the product is not at all right. Then what happens? The customer satisfaction will go down or the people will not have a trust on your company. That means you're losing your goodwill. It's important to produce a proper product and the right product, right? And the quality of the product should be very good. So we need to maintain only with those suppliers, or we need to connect with only those suppliers who are giving us a proper or a good product, right? Then products to be manufactured and sales markets. So once my product is manufactured, I should also understand which sales departments it should go, which distribution departments it should go. So there also I need to build a trust, because I don't want anybody who is destroying my company's name. So I make sure I'm having a good sales markets, and I try to bring my aware of my product to the customers in such a way that it is useful to the customers and also it is promoted in the right way. And when the demand is there, I should also be able to produce those products. Okay. And all these involve under strategic planning of a company when they are producing product and selling a product, right? Then we are having a tactical. So it is important not only the strategies that you put, or you need to have a tactical planning, or else it's very important when you produce a product or when you are trying to manufacture a product. It's very important what kind of strategies that you're playing and what kind of tricks, and to save some money or to use proper way of logistics, not using excess resources. You need to have a tactical and strategic planning. So let's see what we are having as an organization. We need to follow certain tactical decisions. So what are those tactical decisions? On adopting measures that will produce cost benefits. That's what we are talking about. We need to be in such a way, or we need to plan things in such a way it gives us a cost benefits. And how those cost benefits can happen? Industry best practices. We need to take up industry's best practices by some others experiences or some other stories. We need to take inputs and we need to use what is right for us. Okay. Imagine I want to transport a chair from my company to the customer's home. Okay. How will I take that particular chair? By walk. So if I'm taking it by walk, what will happen? Lot of time is involved, labor is involved, and also it can damage the original structure of that particular chair. So imagine if I'm using the help of van or a vehicle, what happens? It is transported very fast, and also the original structure of the product may not be damaged. It will not be damaged. We can take precautions and then we can send it on time. Correct. So not much labor is also involved. So I can use that labor in to some other segment. So what is happening is you need to understand what needs to be used and at what time and how it needs to be used. Okay, we need to bring in best practices to give the customer a proper satisfaction. We need to use those all easy ways and upgraded versions how it can be transported well to save time, to save labor, and also to maintain the quality of the product. Okay. Then developing a purchasing strategy with the favored suppliers. So when I have a favored supplier, that means when I like some suppliers and I need to have a purchasing strategy. Like imagine I'm a manufacturing company, I have my own raw material suppliers, I like certain suppliers, so I need to make strategies or make partnership with that suppliers or get them into the contract in such a way that we have a good bond between each of them, right? So whenever I need some product, I can just call to my suppliers and they are ready to help me, okay, depending upon the demand of the market, right? I need to have a strategy with my favorite suppliers so that I don't lose them. So, and logistics company. So, we have, as a manufacturing company, I have my suppliers, the favorite suppliers in my hand, and I also have the logistic people in my hand. So, when a huge demand comes to my product, I have people to supply the raw material. I have my manufacturing company who is making the product, and also I have logistic people who are ready to deliver that particular product to the places that it needs to be delivered, right? I have a strong logistics team, I have a strong suppliers team, and I have my own organization, my company who is working very strong to produce the product. So when I am maintaining all of them in a right position or in a right way, I am maintaining these relations in a right way, what will happen? Whenever there is a high demand, I don't have any problem because I have my favorite people. I don't have to worry about the competitors taking away the quality of my particular product because I have my suppliers who is only my suppliers. They won't supply to other people. I have a partnership in such a way that I'm having that favoritism with my raw material suppliers. So the quality of the product is very strong. The manufacturing team is working very strong. And also the logistic team are transporting the goods in a proper way. So what is happening? I have a team of people who are closely working with me hand in hand, and then my product is a success. Understood. So, it is very important to have a logistic company to develop cost efficient in transportation. See, once I have a logistic company who are in my favor, they also help me in how a product needs to be transported and how effective way we can transport that particular product, and warehouse strategies to reduce the cost of storage inventory. So, warehouse, depending upon your company, your warehouse needs to be maintained. What kind of warehouses we can include and how cost efficient that they can maintain, how the inventory can be stored in those warehouses. Okay. Then we are having studying competitors. See, we are producing a product, we understood the need of the market and we are also selling the product, but also we need to have an eye on our competitors, what they are trying to bring in, what kind of gradations that they are doing, and how that is impacting our particular product. We need to understand that, and also we need to make certain changes and upgradations in our own product depending upon competitors' strategies. Decision making regarding production and delivery would fall under tactical category. Just like we discussed, it always falls under this particular category. We need to understand how the delivery strategies needs to be done and also production. So it's very important. If sales are not happening of your product, does it make any sense you producing more number of products? No, right? So when sales are happening, then the production also should happen simultaneously so that you don't fall into losses. That means you need to study the market, you need to understand sales markets. These people sales department will be analyzing if the products are going in a right way or not, how they are being sold, and what is the customer satisfaction. Should we make any changes? All this needs to be considered. Understood? So the next one we are having operational. See, we are having strategic planning, tactical planning, and also how we put all this plan into formulations. All this planning into operations is also very important. Decisions at this level are made each day. Like how they are made? Like each day. Every single day we can study how your products are manufactured, how your products are sold, customer satisfaction. By all these things, each day the decisions can change, right? It involves business. Why we are making these decisions on each day, or it can happen on each day because of the business and upbringing of the business, and how the products move along with the supply chain. See, that's what we are talking about, how it move along the supply chain, right? And how it is reaching the end user, and how the end user's satisfaction matters, and how we can make it in a better on each day basis. We can talk about this, or we can take decisions under operational level, right? Decisions involve making schedules, then changing to production, right? Changes to the production is important, making schedules like how many intervals we need, or what kind of batches we need to produce our product. Then we are having purchasing agreements with suppliers, taking orders from customers, moving products in the warehouse. See, all these are operational. I need to understand my contracts with my supplier, how many times I'll be purchasing with my supplier in one particular year. So if demand increases, are they ready to produce more? Are they ready to sell more? Okay, am I ready to give the customers the required orders? Anticipation, how many orders can be anticipated? Imagine if, just like we discussed the example, woolen clothes, can I anticipate purchase or sales of woolen clothes can be high in the summer season? No, right? But purchase of woolen clothes in winter season can be high? Yes. So it is very important, you need to understand your customers, your location needs and the requirements, and how it needs to be produced, right? Then to operational category include daily management of the supply chain, includes making production schedules. See, production schedules are nothing but depending upon your organization, you need to make your production, how much, with what frequency you need to produce. Like in this month, I'm producing like 100 units, okay, and the sales are not happening, and I'm also producing the next month 100 units. What happens? So sales are not happening at my anticipation level. What happens? I'm producing more, but the sale is not happening. So who are at loss? I'm losing. So you need to understand your sales, how the sales are there, the need of the customers, the locational needs, and also the seasonal needs. We need to put all of this into consideration when we are working under supply chain management.